Well, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jonathan, and this is Mr. Pearson Talks Books. A few weeks ago, I posted that I was very close to reaching 300 subscribers, and that when I did hit 300 subscribers, I was going to do a Q&A. Well, we have crossed 300 subscribers, and so I am here to answer the questions that were sent to me. I think I have about 5 or 6 questions, which is pretty exciting. And so let's go ahead and we'll dive into them. This first question comes from my friend Nikki at My Messy Bookshelf. And her question was, what inspired you to start your channel? Well, what inspired me to start the channel was I have another YouTube channel where I post educational videos about fractions and vocabulary and sentences, things like that to help teachers with their teaching and remediation, things like that. And one day I started posting some book reviews over there. And then I got to thinking that I don't really want this channel here to get too convoluted. I want to make sure that we're keeping on the right path, that everybody knows that this is where you go to get fractions videos or multiplication videos. So I thought that the best thing to do would be to create another channel that was focused primarily on middle grade books and middle grade book reviews. And of course, the channel has morphed since that time. But that was how I got started, was by posting videos about the books that I was reading and recommending to my students. Another question from Nikki on her channel is, do your students know about your channel? And the answer is yes, they do know about my channel. They actually know about both channels. And they know about it because we use those videos in class. They also know that I have the book channel, the one that you're watching this on, but I have never shared with them any of the videos. I've never shared with them the link or the address to the channel, because I want to keep those two separate. Like I am totally okay with my students knowing about Mr. Pearson Teaches Third Grade, but Mr. Pearson Talks Books, that's something different. That's geared primarily toward adults, whereas the other channel is for students. So yes, they do know about it, but I don't share it other than to tell them. They ask me from time to time how many subscribers I have, that type of thing. So I do share that with them. All right, the next question. Which teacher most inspired your love for reading and or teaching? And this came from from Michael McCarty. The teacher that most inspired me for my love for reading was my English 11 honors, I think is how you call that class, 11th grade honors English, Mrs. Bornarth. And Mrs. Bornarth, she really introduced us to a lot of a wide range of books. I remember reading some of the Canterbury Tales. We had to read a book in there called Grendel. And Miss Bornarth knew that I am a Christian, and there's some pretty graphic stuff in the book of Grendel. It's a retelling of the Beowulf story, but from Grendel's point of view. So she came to me and said, "Hey, listen, if you're not comfortable reading this book, let's come up with a different book for you to read." And of course, being an 11th grader, I took advantage of that because I wasn't that interested in the book. But that really turned me on to a love for literature and a love for reading. Consequently, a few years later, when I became a teacher, Mrs. Bornarth's granddaughter was in one of my first classes. And I was so excited when she came to visit with me one day, totally unbeknownst to her that I was her granddaughter's teacher. But it was very exciting for us. So thank you for that question there. All right. The next question is, which video did you have the most fun making and why? Now, you have to forgive me, I don't remember the exact title of the video, but there was a video that I made where my wife and I went on our anniversary weekend. We went to a bookstore and we went to a concert and we had dinner together. And I made a vlog of us being at Barnes & Noble and us eating Chipotle and watching the concert. It was a Beatles cover band down in the town that we visited. I had a really good time making that video because I got to go to my favorite places and I got to spend the weekend with my absolute favorite person, my wife. So I will find that video. I'll put a link to right up here if you want to go check that out. It's my anniversary weekend vlog. It was a lot of fun to make. And that question came from user DTR Steven. So thanks for sending that one in. And then another teaching question. This is from P.Ross192. What's the funniest thing that has happened in your teaching career? And I got to thinking about this question. And honestly, I don't know. We have so much fun all the time in my class. My wife and I were just talking about this today, that I am very structured, but I'm also very type B. So if you've ever seen my desk, it's an explosion of papers. There's piles and there's mounds and there's books everywhere. It's very difficult and very challenging for me to stay organized, but everything in my classroom is very organized. We do this at this time and this at this time and this at this time. But we do have a lot of fun. We tell jokes and we laugh and we have a good time. I think one of the funniest things that ever happened was I stole another teacher's class. So I went to the cafeteria to pick up my students from lunch, and she was running a little bit behind me. So I got her students to line up with me as well. And as I was walking down the hallway, I saw her coming in the opposite hallway. So I had all the kids squat down real low so that she couldn't see them behind the wall. And we got upstairs and she had no idea where her class had gotten to. I was kind of panicking all over the place and walked in my room and saw and just kind of stared at me and turned around and walked back out. But that was, lots of other things have happened. Some sad things have happened. I've been teaching for almost 22 years at this point. And so lots of different things happen. Love teaching. I think another question that was on there, would I choose teaching if I had to start over? And I think the answer is yes. I really do love, I love teaching. I love interacting with young people and helping them to learn the things that they need to learn. I enjoy the conversations that we have. It's always a good time. So hopefully that answered that question. And then the last question came from a Book Burger Reads. And this question is, if you could visit any fictional place from a book, where would it be? And this is a challenging one because there are so many places that I would like to go. I think I would like to visit Narnia. I do enjoy those stories. I would like to go after the White Witch is already gone, when spring has come and there's green grass and everything. Not when it's winter, but never Christmas, kind of place. I might also want to visit Middle Earth, but not during the times of the wars or anything like that. So after the ring has been taken care of, it'd be nice to visit the Shire, see that. And then because I am a Star Wars fan, I would love to go visit Coruscant. For those of you that don't know, Coruscant is a planet that is made up entirely of a city. It's just buildings upon buildings and levels upon levels. And the deeper you go in the levels, the shadier it becomes. So there's some criminal element and some different things like that. But I think it'd be kind of interesting to see what a planet that is an entire city would be like. The Coruscant is where the Senate, the Imperial or the Republic Senate, and where the Jedi Temple was, and all of those things. Sorry, I'm about to nerd out here. So those are just some places. I think it also might be fun to visit Klickitat Street. Klickitat Street is where Ramona Quimby lived. I think it'd be fun to go and visit her and her family and see all of the places that are mentioned in those books as well. So thank you to everyone for sending in questions and celebrating with me as we reach this threshold of 300 subscribers. The next one I'd like to get to is 400. If we hit 400, we can certainly do this type of video again. But I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a little bit more about me. And as always, my name is Jonathan, This is Mr. Pearson Talks Books. We'll see you in the next video.